Hey, what's up, YouTubers? I want to dedicate this video to how I got into the hobby. I remember when, as soon as I was a kid, um, I was actually born with autism, which is a mild form of Asperger's syndrome. Well, actually, I was born with a mild form of autism called Asperger's syndrome. So, from the young age that I remember I could go up to a car, and I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and I had no idea about the world, how to drive or anything, but I could always go up to a car, and I remember saying, oh, that's a Chevy, oh, that's a Ford. So I've been ingrained with cars for a long time. One time I asked my granddad, I think I said asked him how a combustion engine works or something like that, and he told me about all the ways an engine works. And I used to watch construction videos all the time, so that was sort of what got me into it, what was just so monumental in getting my hobby started. So I basically, at the young age, I was just so engrossed with cars, anything that involved an engine. I was a real technical person. I mean, I remember when I could play with my Kinects, and it was just like I would build vehicles out of them all the time. I would build cars, and then I played Stunt Track Driver when I was a kid. I did all sorts of things when I was younger that just involved cars. I would play with my Hot Wheels tracks. I would set them up all over my room. I just had so many different things that has ingrained the car hobby into me. I remember at about 14 or 15, and I would always go out to the Bass Pro car show with my dad around here. I would do all sorts of things. I would go to the Hardee's, and last year I think I got a few more cars than I had the other years prior to that. And then it just started, I bought one car here, one car there, and this has basically just become such a hobby for me. And my mom doesn't like the idea of me driving, so I figured, whatever, I'll just start collecting, and just collecting's become such a passion for me. And I like the idea of having a YouTube to share all that with everybody, and I like the idea of just having so much stuff in my collection. It's just a good thing for people to be into the hobby, and I think everyone should be ingrained with it. I encourage parents to take their kids to car shows. I encourage them to, let them open their Hot Wheels, play with them, whatever it takes to get kids into the hobby is a good thing. I just think it's awesome that we have so many people that are young, like Mr. Epic Collector. And I mean, some of the younger kids, I don't know any of them really on YouTube, but I think it's great when a kid is into actual collecting, not just ripping the packs open, but actually leaving them in the package. I think it's great when kids are into that kind of thing. It just encourages a newer generation. And cars in general, I think definitely parents should encourage it, like the older generation of muscle cars and everything like that. I just think so many people should, really encourage it, because it's a hobby that we don't need dying. We have so many great people out there like George Barris. We have Bodie Stroud, Boyd Coddington. Well, he's not with us anymore, of course. We have ZZ Tops, Billy Gibbons, all the people that have just shaped such a car culture. The George Barris. I mean, what's the other guy's name? Ryan from West Coast Customs. We've just had so many different idols in the car hobby and in the designing hobby, like Sean Taylor of M2 Machines. We've just had so many different people that have been so great. Chip Foose. I mean, it's a hobby, and nowadays I've watched Overhauling, and Chip Foose has been teaching his son on how to work on cars, and the kid can sand and everything. It's just great that we're, making this, a great hobby for our kids to join. And I say we encourage it, whatever we can do. And I've gotten into collecting so much now that I probably need a storage tote or two or three But, that's beside the point. I love collecting, and I think that more people need to do it, honestly. Whatever they do, whether they collect, whether they drive a car, whatever they do, I mean, hey, it's your thing. I say get out there, do it. Live your life. I mean, nothing in this life worth having is easy. You know, I remember during the summer I had to work for my job coach money so I could buy the bulk of my collection that I got this year. So, and the reason I did it is because I went out there and I did it. I didn't sit inside all summer. I actually worked hard for it, and through the school I got my money, and then I went out there and I bought all the stuff I wanted to get. So like I said, working for it is fun, but it's hard. There's a sacrifice you got to make, and like I said, I've always been a person who likes to collect. I mean, from the first time I got my Matchbox when I was a kid, I remember their Hot Wheels being underneath the Christmas tree. I got an old Ferrari F50. I got a Woody, I think. So, and I always remember going to Walmart and looking through the die-cast aisle. I didn't know much about buying die-cast, and I didn't get much back then, but I always remember it being a hobby for me, and it was always the coolest thing ever to just go through those aisles and look at the Hot Wheels and stuff. And honestly, as an adult, I still do. I'm not really an adult or a kid. I'm kind of a kidult. I'm one of those people that, yeah, I'm growing up. I'm 21 now, but still, I refuse to get rid of my stuff, But I just like the idea of collecting. I watch Toy Hunter all the time. It's a great show. So like I said, I'm Jared White. I'm the J-Man63, and that's my story. And another thing I wanted to add also is that I would ride around in the truck with my granddad all the time, and those were like some of my fondest memories, was riding around the truck with him from site to site, and that was basically one thing. But yeah, I just wanted to leave you with that, and I'm Jared White, the J-Man63. Like I said, rate, comment, subscribe. You know where the subscription button is, up there, and the comments are down below. So whatever you do, hit that subscribe button and comment on them comments. That's all I have to say, and that's my story about how I got into the hobby. Goodbye.